rounds of strong to severe storms for the last several days across parts of the deep south. Now, most of the energy, the severe energy, is going to stay to our north, but we will be tapping into some of that. We'll have more details on what you can expect in the forecast coming up in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Good morning to you guys on this Monday, 7:02 in the morning, Narcoossee. You guys are super slow this morning. The crash icon went away. Not sure if they've cleared this out, but there was an earlier crash reported just south of Tyson, northbound on Narcoossee. Mix this with the high school out there, Lake Nona, plus all you guys coming in from St. Cloud. I'd add about 15 extra minutes if you can early this morning. Take that coffee to go and then just drive safely for me. East and westbound I-4 routinely slow. No crashes out there yet this morning. We're doing pretty good. DOT came out here also over at Saxon showing that our drive times not too bad. 19 minutes from Sanford to downtown and 20 minutes if you're coming in from Osceola Parkway. These times right here, this is good stuff. Anything higher than that might start slowing us down just a little bit. Guys, send it back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. Breaking overnight, an investigation underway after a big fire breaks out at an Orlando business. This is what it looked like just a few hours ago at the Aramark facility on Division Avenue. Firefighters say smoke and flames were shooting from a storage building when they first arrived. No one was hurt, but the fire left behind a big pile of debris and burned through the cab of at least one truck. Fire officials are now working to figure out how it all started. Excitement building this morning as the Florida Gators get ready to play for the NCAA basketball championship.
The team punched their ticket to the big game with a huge win Saturday night against Auburn. Now the Gators looking to take home their first national title in nearly 20 years. News 6's Mark Lehman joining us live this morning. Gator Nation hoping for a big night, Mark.
Oh yeah, a lot of places will be rocking with fans tonight, including the Hideaway Bar here in Orlando. The championship is in sight for the Gators, who have been working to get back to the national title game since they last won in 2007. Now, after 18 years, Florida is just one win away from taking home the trophy.
It was an electric night for Gators fans over the weekend as Florida punched their ticket to the national championship.
It was electric. I mean, I felt like I was in Gainesville.
The Florida Gators taking down top overall seed Auburn in a blow-for-blow basketball brawl. Coach Todd Golden saying the win was built on the team's perseverance.
It's resilience, you know. We've had that, been able to put that on display in the NCAA tournament really all year.
Florida will be facing off against Houston tonight after the Cougars put together an unexpected comeback against Duke in the final seconds of their game. Now excitement is building for the showdown, with Gators fans hoping for the team's one shining moment and Florida's first basketball championship in nearly 20 years.
It's like we're back in 2007 all over again, man. This is the dream team right now. This is the destiny. The Gators are going to win the national championship, baby.
Yeah, and if that fan's excitement was any indication, you can only imagine what it's going to be like tonight. When it comes to Houston, as of now, they are 0-2 in national title games for basketball. Now, if the Gators come out on top tonight, this will be their third national championship. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Mark Lehman, getting results, News 6.
Thank you, Mark. And again, with the big game tonight, tip-off set for just after 8:30. You can watch that live on WKMG, and then stay tuned for all the reaction right after the game on News 6.
Right now, the Highway Patrol is asking for help to get results and find a man who opened fire on another driver right in the middle of I-4. Take a look at your screen real quick. Troopers say a group of motorcycles was driving erratically heading towards Tampa early yesterday. The driver of a car pulled out a phone, began recording this video. That's when authorities say one of the bikers started shooting. No one was hurt. The gunman did get away. We are told he was wearing an Outlaws Motorcycle Club jacket with the word Florida underneath. If you have any information, you are urged to call the Highway Patrol. Condolences continue to pour in this morning for longtime Orlando businessman David Siegel.
The Westgate Resorts founder passed away over the weekend at the age of 89, and now we're hearing from Siegel's widow, Jackie, about his legacy, not just in business, but with his family.
What do you want them to know about the man, David Siegel, not just the timeshare mogul?
He was a family man. Here he is fighting multiple myeloma. All of a sudden, at Christmas Day, he says, I want to take the children to Park City to take them on a ski trip and go to Las Vegas. And we did.
Jackie Siegel invited News 6's Julie Broughton to her home yesterday. She said her husband battled cancer for 5 years, but that did not slow down the family's mission of fighting the opioid epidemic, something that's been a passion since the Siegel's daughter Victoria died of an overdose in 2015.
He devoted the last 10 years of his life to saving lives, and now he's my guardian angel. And he's going to make sure that we save lives. You know, he's not going to let me rest. He's going to, time to get to work.
Jackie is planning a celebration of life for David later this week. It'll be open to the public. If you'd like to see more of Julie's interview, we have it posted right now on the homepage of clickorlando.com.
New this morning, international markets have taken another plunge as the fallout continues from President Trump's new tariffs. All signs are pointing to another potential bad day on Wall Street. But as Naomi Ruckham explains, Trump says he's not backing down.
American and international markets have tanked in reaction to President Donald Trump's impending tariffs on dozens of nations around the world. And from Air Force One Sunday, the president said he's not backing off.
I don't want anything to go down, but sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something.
The president's aides are working to calm fears, saying more than 50 nations have reached out about negotiating to lift the tariffs.
We're going to become a wealthy nation again, wealthy like never before.
The European Union is now proposing a list of U.S. goods to hit with extra tariffs, which could send prices soaring for products like fast fashion, electronics, cheese, and champagne.
The costs of doing business with the United States will drastically increase.
Over the weekend, thousands of demonstrators in all 50 states voiced their anger at the current administration. Still, the Commerce Secretary says the tariffs will stay in place, adding the president plans to reset global trade. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Meantime, some local food pantries are now asking for help after the Trump administration's recent decision to freeze federal funding. The Jewish Family Services of Greater Orlando serves around 9 people every 15 minutes through a partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank. They say while they have several boxes in their warehouse, the more essential food items are scarce.
I'm missing eggs, I'm missing dairy, I'm missing milk, obviously dairy. I'm missing fresh vegetables, I'm missing fruit. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. It's the high proteins, the turkeys, the meats that you and I need to have a healthy day.
Without help from federal programs, Second Harvest says it'll cost them $1.6 million in the short term to provide their partner pantries with the food they need. If you're interested in helping out, we have attached a link inside the story on clickorlando.com.
Very important resource there. Right now, nonstop downpours are wreaking havoc on southern states, triggering historic flooding and tornadoes and leaving at least 17 people dead. In Kentucky and northern Arkansas, many roads there are underwater with communities swamped. And in Tennessee, cars are left stranded. And in Mississippi, some families are trying to salvage what they can after a string of tornadoes.
We're all in shock. Very hard. It's hard to talk about it.
The storm system is not yet done. Right now, about 22 million people remain under flood watches. And that same storm system expected to hit Florida tonight into Tuesday, Candace. So we need to keep our eyes peeled, right?
Yeah, just making sure you're staying weather aware into the overnight. But these are just the last storm reports in the last 24 hours. You can see there were several tornadoes, at least reported tornadoes, not confirmed just yet, flooding up through parts of Kentucky and areas of Tennessee as well. And this system will finally start to make its way out of the country as we head into tomorrow and into Wednesday. But in the meantime, though, this line will continue to approach parts of Central Florida later on tonight. Before we even get to the rain, we're going to be talking about near record highs this afternoon. Low 90s, pretty much all across parts of Central Florida. So if you're planning on enjoying the beaches today, just do be aware we still have that high risk of rip currents. Temperatures, though, on the hot side as the water temperature is also starting to climb. So we have a risk of rip currents today. We have near record highs this afternoon. And then as we head into the evening hours, we're going to start putting these little hazard icons as we are going to continue to see the threat for some strong storms possibly overnight. We'll be pinpointing who has the threat, what those threats include, and the big cooler changes behind this front coming up in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
That looks like it's going to line up perfectly right on I-4 at some point.
Yeah,
Just
overnight.
Overnight, just line that whole area, meaning you're going to wake up to some wet roadways. So just put that in the back of your mind as we go to bed tonight so that we have a good travel in the morning. I-4 Enterprise looking decent. Those westbound delays are beginning to settle in. So please be careful. No crashes yet this morning. Lake Mary, Sanford, Heathrow, even as you make your way further westbound around I-4 and the 434 area. Locally there, your ramps nice and clear, no major issues. Winter Park, good morning to you. Maitland, east and westbound as you're approaching Orlando Ave, no issues there. And then 2 different DOT cams. I can't wait to step outside. It looks like it's absolutely gorgeous. 408 east and westbound. If you're headed towards downtown, no delays just yet. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. 7:12 now. We're counting down the days to the grand opening of Universal's new theme park.
We got a chance to go inside Epic Universe ahead of the grand opening. That sneak peek coming up.
First, though, a warning with tax deadline quickly approaching. New this morning how scammers are fishing for your information so you don't get ripped off. You're watching News 6 Mornings. Beautiful shot here overlooking Daytona Beach.
Look at that.
Soak it in.
Let's just hang out here for a minute.
We'll be right back. As the tax filing deadline approaches, crooks are after your personal information. That's the word from the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. New this morning, investigator Lewis Bolden explains what you need to know to avoid becoming a victim.
We've all gotten them. Unsolicited text messages and emails, seemingly harmless, but secretly after your information.
Unfortunately, each and every year we see more and more tax scams and schemes.
Former IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel sat down with News 6 and says phishing and smishing schemes top the list of this year's Dirty Dozen,
which is our top 12 tax scams to be on the lookout for.
If it comes in email, it's phishing. In text, smishing. Werfel says sometimes the crooks want as much personal information as possible so they can use it to fraudulently file tax returns and claim refund money that isn't theirs. Other times they want fast money now.
It'll say something like, "This is the IRS. You owe $4,500. Click here to pay or face significant more penalties."
Does the IRS ever send links?
No.
That's the first red flag, and there are others. Werfel says the IRS won't initiate contact with you by email or social media to request personal or financial information.
It is our effort to get the word out to taxpayers on what to be on the lookout for in terms of tax scams.
If you think you've been the victim of a scheme or ripoff, email me at lbolden@wkmg.com. Remember, don't fall for the scheme. Don't get ripped off. Getting results, I'm Lewis Bolden, News 6.
Happening today, one of the largest utilities in Central Florida is expected to take up the debate about adding fluoride to the water. The Toho Water Authority is set to hold a series of community meetings starting tonight at 5:30 at the Buenaventura Library. The utility currently adds fluoride to help with dental health, but now says it wants to get feedback on whether that should continue after some health leaders, including Florida Surgeon General, raised concerns about possible negative health impacts, especially in kids. In recent months, several local governments have voted to stop adding the mineral. Well, as we enter the final 4 weeks of the legislative session, the Senate and House are more than $4 billion apart when it comes to the budget. However, the Senate President, Ben Albritton, says the budget differences can still be worked out. He says the goal is to hold down spending.
We want to build a budget that's good for Floridians, and we love the idea of reducing taxes. We love the idea of looking closely into the budget and find out, are there places to where we could normalize the spending?
On Wednesday, both the Senate and House will take up their budget proposals and related bills. The Senate budget proposal totals more than $117 billion, while the House has proposed a nearly $113 billion spending plan.
We are counting down the days to the opening of Universal's newest theme park. And this weekend, our theme park expert, Haley Coombs, got an inside look at Epic Universe. The park has 5 different worlds to explore. They include Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon, Harry Potter, Super Nintendo World, Celestial Park, and Dark Universe. Each world has a portal designed to transport guests. Park officially opens May 22nd. We have everything you need to know on clickorlando.com. Just click on the theme parks page. But yes, everything I've seen and everything I've heard.
Yes, over the top.
I think they knocked it out of the park. I think they got it right. So we'll see. I mean, I'd love to experience it for myself.
I'm interested to see what Halloween Horror Nights looks like this
Ooh.
year.
I'm sure it's up a notch too. Yeah.
I keep
Especially
telling
with the
myself.
Dark Universe.
I keep telling myself I'm not going to go when they open. I'm not going to.
You're going.
It's hard not to.
It's
Right? It's
hard.
hard not to like.
It's hard.
Was I waiting for 7 hours to get into the Harry Potter world when it opened at Island?
Crystal's the only person that will
I
go,
did.
Yes, she
will
was.
go there for lunch break.
She'll go there for exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
If you get that pass, that annual pass, you got
to.
pay. You got to
Get my money's
justify
worth.
it. You got to justify the pay.
That's right.
Listen, if you're going to be out of the theme parks today, no matter which ones, we're going to be seeing a really hot day this afternoon as temperatures once again will be nearing record highs. We're talking low 90s area-wide. Then later on tonight, we're going to be bumping up those rain chances as we head into the afternoon and evening hours. Really, as the sun goes down, that's when we will see our highest threat. By daybreak tomorrow, most of the activity should be done with. So our roads might be a little bit on the wet side early tomorrow morning when we're joined back together again. But we are going to also be talking about much cooler air arriving come Tuesday afternoon. So we'll go 90s today, rain tonight, 70s tomorrow. Now, speaking of the 70s, right now we're starting in the 70s. That's not where we should be. We should be technically about 10 degrees cooler at this point in time. A few upper 60s right now sprinkled in along our coastline from Cape Canaveral through Daytona Beach as well. But as we take you here hour by hour, highs back into low 90s almost from coast to coast throughout the day, closing in on near 90 there in Melbourne. But you can see by lunchtime already warming above average. And then the rain chances slowly start to trickle back in as we head into about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Sun goes down, rain chances go up. Now, we will have the chance for an isolated shower or two this afternoon along that southwest, kind of humid southwest breeze. But notice by 9, 10 o'clock, we're going to start seeing some of those scattered showers. It looks like that threat will start pushing in a little later on in the evening by about 11 o'clock. Meteorologist Jonathan Kekis will be pinpointing that potential for some strong storms. This is the point here, at least across central Florida, that we will have our best shot for some strong storms in the forecast, because as we head into the early morning hours of Tuesday, notice how much a lot of that rain kind of fizzles out. So most of our viewing area won't see more than about 1/4 of an inch of rain at best. But again, that threat for some strong storms isn't completely out of the picture, so we are designating tonight a weather alert night, and then the sky is clear, much cooler air will settle in behind it. So let's look here at the severe weather risk. The Storm Prediction Center sends it out of level 5, high being the highest. We're going to be under a marginal risk for areas of northern Sumter, Flagler, Marion County later on today, although that slight risk stays up from basically Alachua County further north. Then by tomorrow, this is what we're going to be tracking. Cooler air. Temperatures are running well below the average of 82. And then we're going to slowly moderate back to near 80 as we head into Thursday. Then we're looking at a kind of a weak front sometime late Thursday and into Friday that could be bringing those temperatures back below normal for the weekend. So as we get results here, the full 7-day forecast, just do me a favor, just make sure to have a way of being notified in case weather does threaten where you are sleeping or working, whatever you're doing throughout the overnight. So again, weather alert day for tonight, much cooler as we head into the week. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Thank you, ma'am. Roadways on a Monday. I don't know where everyone's at. Not going to complain about this. 408. You're clear right now from all the way on the east side all the way to downtown. Same thing on the west end if you're coming in from the Turnpike, Orange Avenue, north and southbound, Edgewater, Pine Castle, Oak Ridge area, even Hoffner, Belle Isle. Watch out for the school zone, please, as you're traveling down there. Sand Lake, east and westbound. Construction gets a little dense as you get close towards the west end and International Drive, but right now out by the Florida Mall, Sky Lake, even southbound along OBT, nice and clear. We do have a crash that just came out a little while ago along Orange Avenue close to Peace Lane. This is closer towards 417 in the gas station down here, causing a little bit of a slowdown, but that's really where the high school's at, so you'll be good to go. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is heading to Texas today after a second child dies from measles.
At the bottom of the hour, how the administration is responding as the outbreak in Texas continues.
Plus, just in time for the busy season, a popular landmark in Daytona Beach is back open. The relief local business owners are now hoping for. Just in time for the busy summer season, one local landmark in Daytona Beach is now back open. The International Speedway Boulevard ramp has been shut down for months for a big renovation project. Nearby business owners say the cars lining up to get to the beach is a sight they have not seen in a while. Sam Tadros is the owner of Sam's Coal-Fired Pizza. He decided to close down during the construction.
We want people to start coming out here.
Yeah.
You know, they did a great job. People should, you know, they owe it to the county to come out and give it a shot and try it.
Now, if you want to visit this drive-on access to the beach or others in Volusia County, you can either pay a $30 daily fee or apply online for the new virtual Volusia Parks permit. We've got all the details on clickorlando.com.
Have you seen it? A lot of you have. The new family film, a Minecraft movie, is exceeding expectations at the box office. So the movie puts Jack Black and friends in the world of the game. A Minecraft movie opened with $157 million, making it the biggest debut of the year and the best opening ever for a video game adaptation. I mean, it has good reviews for the people who've seen it, not from critics. Critics like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone else, 88%.
How right are they, though?
Yeah, they're never right. A reason to support all of the wonderful local small businesses.
It's 407 Day in Orlando. Straight ahead, the special deals being offered across the city to support local businesses.
And Gator Mania, Gator fans, the moment Gator fans have been waiting for. Tonight's the championship game against Houston. A preview coming up next.
Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results.
Good morning, Central Florida. Near record highs for today. We're going to continue to see those temperatures back into those low 90s, pretty much flirting with records area-wide. Now, as we head into the overnight hours, it's a weather alert night. We're going to be tracking the arrival of our next cold front, packing some heavy rain. The possibility of an isolated strong to severe storm will be likely across areas of Marion, Flagler, northern Sumter County. The line weakens a bit into the overnight, but still making sure you have ways of being notified into the overnight hours. And then once that front clears, much cooler air settles in. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
Roadways aren't doing too bad this morning to the start of your Monday. East and westbound 408 up to speed. So it's just south of there, Orange Avenue, Gatlin, Lake Margaret. I am watching a crash off of Orange Avenue close to 417 down in the south end of Orange County. But even out here, northbound Turnpike looking pretty good down in Kissimmee this morning. The news, well, it continues next. Remember, get updates on any of our big stories over at clickorlando.com.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AK Certified Roofing. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results.
7:30 now. Let's get a check of our top stories. Breaking overnight, a big fire is under investigation at a business in Orlando. Smoke and flames were shooting from a storage building at Aramark on Division Avenue when crews first arrived early this morning. We're being told no one was hurt.
The Florida Gators hoping to get their one shining moment tonight as they take on Houston for the NCAA basketball championship. The team beat Auburn on Saturday to earn their spot in the finals for the first time since 2007.
And a cold front's headed towards Central Florida. It has the potential to bring strong, even severe storms tonight and into tomorrow.
Before that, though, some areas could see record heat, and that comes after an already steamy weekend. Look at this beautiful shot.
A nice morning shaping up, but yes, we have plenty of changes to talk about in the forecast. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos here breaking it all down for us.
Oh yeah, and we're going to see a very big swing in temperatures between today and tomorrow, with the rain and storms kind of mixed in right between the two. So for today, nearing record highs, we're back into the low 90s, pretty much a carbon copy of what we dealt with yesterday. Although later on into the day, we won't stay clear. We'll start to see the clouds build in all ahead of this next cold front. Notice all the blues behind this cold front. This was actually packing cool air. Taking a live look outside on this 407 day. Happy Orlando Day. Downtown Orlando Skycam right now holding at 70 degrees. Our wind gusts continue to pick up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. It's going to be hot. It's going to get breezy. We're going to continue to see temperatures running very close to near record values this afternoon in those low 90s. But again, we need to turn our attention to that severe weather risk under a level 1 out of 5, not for all of Central Florida. So the severe risk is a little lower than some previous cold fronts we've been dealing with so far this season, but still, we have a mention of it. This is one of those concerns because it will be happening, the majority of us, overnight. We want to make sure that you're staying weather aware. So we are designating tonight a weather alert day, but then some big time, much cooler changes arrive by tomorrow. We'll be pinpointing everything you need to know coming up in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Roadways are still looking nice this morning. No major crashes, no major slowdowns. It is a Monday that I think most of us wish for when it comes to the roadways. So 528 still looking good. John Young and OBT all clear. I am watching this one off of Orange Avenue out by 417 just north of Hunters Creek. But even here, stop and go a little bit along Simpson. Earlier, a second ago, we saw some slowdowns out here towards Buenaventura and Osceola Parkway. But right now, north and southbound Simpson Road belongs to you. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. The countdown is on for the NCAA men's basketball championship game, and the Florida Gators are hoping they're the ones to cut down the nets tonight.
Yeah, the team is looking to take home the national title after securing a big win against Auburn Saturday night. And it's safe to say Florida fans are rallying behind them. News 6's Mark Lehman joins us live in Orlando. And Mark, fans are hoping to keep the good times rolling.
Oh yeah, I don't think the party stopped for some of those fans here in Orlando after that big Final Four win on Saturday night. And now the eyes are set on another national championship for Florida, which would be the first one in 18 years.
With the takedown of top overall seed Auburn over the weekend, excitement has been building for the Florida Gators.
I worked for the Gator basketball team as a scout in 2019. So this has got to be incredible to see this. It's amazing. I've been waiting for this all my life.
We were at the Hideaway Bar on Saturday as Florida came out on top of their Final Four showdown, and the place went wild.
It was electric. I mean, I felt like I was in Gainesville.
With the win, Florida is preparing to take on Houston in the final game of the NCAA tournament. The Cougars are coming off a thrilling comeback in the last 30 seconds of their matchup against Duke. Now a title is on the line tonight. The Gators are looking for their third national championship after going back-to-back in 06 and 07. Coach Todd Golden saying the trophy is well within reach.
We have some special players on the floor, but our mental toughness and our resilience have been a big part of our ability to make it to this national championship.
And Coach Golden's team is one that's built with underdogs, and the Gators are using that mentality heading into tonight's game. Tip-off for the national championship is set for just after 8:30, and you can watch it live here on WKMG. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Mark Lehman, Getting Results, News 6.
All right, Mark, I see you wearing your Gator colors. You got your red hair. You got the blue on your jacket. That's what I'm talking about. Go Gators. And thanks, Mark. It's been a wild ride for the Gators. You can read about their journey through the tournament and everything you need to know about tonight's game. Just head to clickorlando.com.
Orlando police say they've made an arrest after a deadly shooting outside of a shopping mall, and they say the victim wasn't the intended target. 42-year-old Keyshawn Richards is facing manslaughter charges after police say he shot and killed 46-year-old Joseph Phillips early yesterday in the parking lot of Magic Mall on West Colonial. Police say Phillips had just left a restaurant when a group got into an argument outside. Police say Richards pulled out a gun and tried to shoot another person in the parking lot, but ended up hitting and killing the victim instead. The SWAT team arrested Richards at his home last night. He is being held without bond.
An incredible sight in Brevard County after helicopter crashes on a baseball field. You could see the extent of the damage there. Now we're waiting to get an update on the condition of the two people on board. This happened yesterday at the McKnight Family Sports Complex. That's on Barton Boulevard in Rockledge. Now, police say the private helicopter had just taken off from the nearby Merritt Island Airport when it experienced some kind of engine failure. Witnesses were able to pull the victims, a man and woman, out of the wreckage. We were told they were airlifted to the hospital, but haven't gotten any other update on how they're doing. Federal investigators have been called in to help figure out what happened.
Some students at Winter Springs High School are facing discipline this morning after their senior prom at SeaWorld ended with several people having to go to the hospital. In an email sent to parents, the principal said that students snuck small containers of alcohol into prom and others showed up already drunk. The district told us 4 students ended up having to go to the hospital. Principal went on to say that this is not how they envision the night going and that this kind of behavior cannot and will not be tolerated. Protests against the Trump administration took place nationwide over the weekend, including right here in Central Florida. Groups rallied in downtown Orlando, Sanford, Ocala, Daytona Beach, DeLand, and Claremont to oppose the actions of President Trump, Elon Musk, and the new Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Organizers called the protests hands off, saying they're rallying for democracy.
We're out here to let people know we're not just sitting here idly by and watching them burn the country to the ground.
Organizers say more than 1,300 protests took place over the weekend, which is the largest day of collective action since President Trump's inauguration.
Happening today, a way to support local businesses and showcase community pride. It's the annual 407 Day celebration in Orlando. It started during the pandemic to encourage people to support local restaurants, but now it's evolved into a much bigger and longer event. News 6's Angie Casada joins us live. And Angie, how are some businesses preparing for the big day?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, so it's all about supporting these local businesses, right? Just like the ones behind me here at Thornton Park, and just, you know, taking pride in our community. That's the biggest thing. This all kicked off during the pandemic, and 407 Day actually was something that started to celebrate everything local, from small businesses to hometown favorites. And this year, it kicked off early on March 21st. That's 321, you know, to get in the other area code. And a lot of these places are dishing out some great deals to save you some money. And throughout the day, people are being encouraged to share their favorite local spots online using hashtag 407 Day. Or 407, and showing their love for the city and the small businesses that keep it growing.
I think it's just to keep the community thriving, and we all enjoy, whether it's restaurants, you know, stores, retail, anything, like going to visit ourselves. So I think if we can all keep it within the community as much as possible and just enjoy it ourselves, I think, it pays it forward to everybody from a small business perspective. So we're super appreciative of any support we get and definitely try to pay it forward through, to everybody else.
So whether it's a local coffee shop, a small boutique, or your favorite food truck, today's all about celebrating Orlando. And if you haven't joined in yet, there's still plenty of time. All you got to do is head to a local business and use the hashtag 407day. Of course, we're on it. We're going to bring you so much more coming up during our 12 o'clock newscast and right here on clickorlando.com. Reporting in Orlando, Angie Casava, Getting Results, News 6.
Thank you, Angie. And a little breaking news right now, especially for the students at Rollins College. Today is Fox Day. Live look from the school's Fox Cam. This is all part of a tradition that dates back all the way to the 50s. So a fox statue appears for one random day in the spring, and then students get that day off. A former school president started the tradition because it was, quote, too pretty to have class. And today, I think we're going to have a nice day to skip school. Or perhaps even work, Candace. No, not for everyone.
Too late. You're already here.
Too late.
No
We're
such
here.
thing as Fox Day for in the real world. But it's really cool for them, and they have a nice stretch of the day to enjoy and get outside.
Yeah. Do they have like a meteorologist on staff who's telling them how nice the day is?
I think they're just tuning into you, Candace.
Yeah. I was going to say. I can do it. Yeah. All right, I can tell you, today is going to be a great day. We're going to be back into those low 90s, so it is going to be hot, but maybe if you find ways of staying cool, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what kind of weather it's outside. There's no school, so happy Fox Day, everybody. Cape Canaveral, our lunch credit union camera for everyone schlepping to work and school today. We're at 69 degrees right now. Temperatures this afternoon along our coast will be into those upper 80s. So for everybody except Rollins College, your bus stop forecast looking at near 90 degrees this afternoon. We're talking near record heat as temperatures again rebounding to those low 90s. It's all that heat that's going to continue to build up all ahead of our next cold front. And the front right now making its way in right now across the Panhandle. We've been getting a couple little tornado warnings here and there across parts of Georgia and the Panhandle. Now the severe weather threat luckily is going to be really fall apart as we head into the afternoon and evening hours as it moves into central Florida. But there's still a very, very low-end concern for some strong to severe storms. My concern is that it's happening overnight where people tend to let their guards down a little bit as you go to bed. But we're talking heavy rain, gusty winds, even a low-end threat for an isolated tornado for tonight. But again, it's not going to be today. Right now, it's going to be all about the heat. We're talking about the overnight hours. We'll have more on the timing and a look at those latest model runs coming up in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Roadways are doing pretty good this morning on a Monday. Sorry, I looked over. Okay, for those that don't, this crash isn't bothering anybody. For those that don't know, it's absolutely freezing inside the studio. So I look over and Crystal's like, sitting in her seat. Simpson Road down in Kissimmee, not bad. Narcoossee, though, you guys are bumper to bumper from the county line at Boggy Creek up towards Tyson. So please be careful. And if you're flying out, lucky you, come by, pick us up. MCO 528, 436, all smooth. Now, last week out on patrol, we went cruising around the Conway area, not far. Big cut through a lot of people use towards the airport. Absolute mess out here from Lake Underhill down towards Curry Ford. They decided to get rid of your lanes and put in bike lanes. I guess that's what we're going to. Head to clickorlando.com and you can check that out. Can you tell I wasn't a fan of that? Today, we're going to talk about merging. For some reason, merging, you guys think going 35 mile an hour into a 70 zone is the best possible idea out there. So today I'm going to show you that it's not. Join me today at 10 o'clock. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. 7:42 now. Some exciting news from Port Canaveral with the promise of a new cruise ship.
Still ahead, what Carnival is saying about its newest edition and when you'll get the chance to climb aboard. First, though, tragic news out of Texas after a second child dies of measles. What President Trump is saying as cases continue to climb.
A second child is dead, hundreds are sick as a measles outbreak continues in southwest Texas. Hospital workers in Lubbock say the child was unvaccinated and had no known underlying health conditions. As of this morning, at least 569 cases of measles have been reported in at least 3 states. President Trump saying the White House is monitoring the situation.
You know, this is not something new, and we'll see what happens. But certainly, if it progresses, we'll have to take action, very strong action.
Nearly all cases involve people who are not vaccinated. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said this weekend the MMR vaccine is the most effective way to prevent getting the illness. Turning now to booming development in Florida, which isn't predicted to slow down anytime soon. Here in Central Florida, we have some of the fastest growing metro areas in the states.
Yeah, but it could be at the cost of our environment, which is why many communities are trying to expand tree cover. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is live in Kissimmee with more. And Stephanie, how's the city doing its part?
By planting trees, they recently added 200 here at Pioneer Village. If you can see kind of where the flags are, those are just some of the trees that will grow into amazing tree cover here at Pioneer Village. It's a part of the city and the county's sustainability initiatives.
We're very committed to sustainability.
Experience Kissimmee and Osceola County spent a day giving back to Mother Nature.
What we're doing is we're planting trees from Osceola County's tree farm.
Trees are crucial to the environment. They provide oxygen, lower air temperature, reduce pollution, and expand wildlife habitat. In Osceola County, they're not only needed to offset development, but they also help with tourism.
We're one of the highest growing counties population-wise, and so that means a lot of construction, a lot of houses. And so really what we're trying to do is reforest the county, give people that quality of life that you see in places that have had trees for a long time.
We found through research that visitors, especially from international points of origin, really want to make sure that when they visit a destination, it's a destination that takes the environment seriously, which we have a strong track record of doing here in Osceola County.
In 2022, Osceola County adopted an urban forest management plan to increase supply. The plan includes tree giveaway programs, planting along right-of-ways, expanding the tree farm, and tree maintenance. Check out your county or city website, as many offer free trees for residents to plant on their own property. Kissimmee is also promoting tourism in a sustainable way. They've partnered since 2023 with a company called Trees for Travel, and that company calculates the carbon emissions that a group traveling to this area might create when they come here, and they offset that by planting trees and also making an investment in renewable energy. And since they've partnered, they've planted over 100,000 trees. Reporting live in Kissimmee, Stephanie Rodriguez, Getting Results, News 6.
Stephanie, thanks. Flagler County leaders will be holding a community workshop today to discuss a future sports complex in Palm Coast. We told you before about the new state-of-the-art complex that would include indoor and outdoor facilities for a variety of sports, retail, dining options, and more. But leaders say they still want your input on what it should offer and how it could benefit the community. Today's workshop begins at 1 p.m. at the Flagler County Government Services Building in Bunnell.
Taking a live look now from our Launch Credit Union Port Cam at Port Canaveral. Nice little breezy start. But this is where Carnival Cruise Lines has announced its next new ship will home port when it debuts in 2027. The 6,400 passenger Carnival Festival will be the 4th Excel class ship for the company. That's currently the biggest ships being built by the cruise line. Carnival says it's focused on making it fun for the entire family.
We're leaning into families in an even bigger way. Carnival Cruise Line sails more children and families than any other cruise line.
So again, the Carnival Festival will debut in 2027. Itinerary details are expected to be released sometime this summer.
A reunion of a lifetime after one woman is reunited with her Yorkie who was missing for 5 years.
I never thought I would see him again.
Kingston disappeared from Lake Charles, Louisiana in 2020 after Hurricane Laura. He turned up 300 miles away from home, get this, at a frat house at the University of Southern Mississippi.
Aww,
he is a cool pup. The fraternity brothers took him in, checked his chip, got him back to his rightful owner.
The idea, just the idea of losing my dog,
Yeah.
But Steve, he came back with
5 years later,
5
Crystal.
years of education
I'd be
from a great school.
I would have searched every square inch of every
300 miles away. Jeez
My
Louise.
Just living life.
Yeah.
Had a frat house.
That's right.
Well, we have Fox Day today. Maybe it becomes Yorkie Day at the school.
Oh, that would be cool.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, I like that.
All right, let's talk about it today. It's going to be a hot one. Temperatures, it seems like the moment we turn the calendar to April, we've been hitting 90 degrees almost every day the last couple of days, as we're going to continue to see temperatures getting close to near normal, finally, as we head into later on this week. So big changes are underway. We're nearing 91 this afternoon, so again, nearing records. And then as we head into your Tuesday, we have rain and storms to contend with between the two. And then once that front finally clears, temperatures will be cooling back down to below average. So we'll just skip right over the 80s. We'll go 90s for the entire month, and then down to the 70s. Speaking of the 70s, out the door right now, upper 60s to low 70s area wide. But as we take you here throughout the next few hours, we're getting back into those low 90s from coast to coast, even close to near 90, even as far south along the coastline there in Brevard County at 89 in Melbourne, 90 in Ocala, 91 in Palm Coast. So as we take you here over the next few hours, we are still seeing a couple more scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm this afternoon, but rain chances less than about 10%. Our chance for rain really starts to surge as we head into the evening hours. Sun goes down, chances go up. You can see the line approaches our northern zones by about 10, 11 o'clock. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas will be pinpointing more of that as that line starts to approach the area. You can see the little yellows and oranges there indicating some heavier rain bands, the potential for some strong gusty winds. Some frequent lightning can't be ruled out, but notice between about 11 and 1, notice how quickly this line just kind of falls apart. So again, the severity is going to stay to the north, but still with this line, you don't want to completely let your guard down, as there's still a very, very low end risk for some strong storms and thunderstorms as well. But then as we turn the page till tomorrow, much drier, cooler air, that breeze starting to move in straight out of the north. So when it comes to our severe weather risk, again, it's not going to be area wide, but it looks like we'll have a level 1 out of 5 for our northern zones, including Marion and Flagler County, northern Sumter. Lightning, rain, that's going to be a decent shot, pretty much area wide, but the severity increases a little bit. The chance, though, higher the further north you go past, let's say, Alachua County. Then for your highs on Tuesday, feeling nice, back into the mid 70s. You're going to want to plan something to do outside. I don't care what it is, just enjoy it, because you know those 70s are not going to last long in the middle of April. This seems to be the last hurrah of the cooler changes. And you can see we're going to hold on to the slightly below average temperatures for a little longer. Could even get back to the 70s, though, come this weekend. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Wrapping this out, things not horrible out there this morning. DOT cam, though, showing a slowdown out here at 417. Seminole County, 39-mile marker just north here of the Aloma area. You can see as you're coming in southbound, there were some heavy delays. No reported issue out here. So I'm thinking maybe a mix for some construction, disabled vehicle. I saw a car pull off from the shoulder out there, but it looks clear. Eastbound delays on Maitland. Be careful there approaching Rose, but there is a crash off of Begg and Overland out here just west of Pine Hills. And then southbound and eastbound delays on not only 50, but also on the Florida Turnpike. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. Oil prices tumbling to their lowest level in 4 years. What experts say is driving the sharp decline next. New this morning, oil prices have plummeted to their lowest level since 2021. According to AAA, the price of a barrel of oil dropped below $60 this weekend. That drop was driven by concerns about U.S. tariffs and a surprise production increase by OPEC. What we don't know yet is the potential impact that this will have on gas prices. Right now, the average in Florida is $3.19 a gallon. That is up 8 cents from this time last week.
Russia is expected to launch its latest Soyuz mission into orbit just after midnight tonight, and there will be a NASA astronaut on board. Johnny Kim is set to be joined by 2 Russian cosmonauts in the overnight trip to the International Space Station. They're set to lift off at 1:47 a.m. from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. They are expected to dock at the station after 3 hours and join the Expedition 72-73 crew around 5 a.m. Candace.
It's going to be a hot one. Temperatures closing in on near records almost area-wide, but then we are going to turn our attention further north. Overnight tonight, we are watching a batch of pretty heavy rain. Some pockets of some strong storms can't be ruled out, but once that front clears by daybreak tomorrow, it is going to be noticeably cooler. Highs are backing down into those mid-70s. Could stay in the 70s throughout Wednesday. Another cold front potentially arrives on Friday, cooling us back down for the weekend, but just making sure you're staying weather aware. Not so much for the afternoon today, but it's going to be more of an overnight concern. Make sure you have ways of being notified overnight. Steve.
Right now, 417 southbound, still very slow this morning over at the 39. Please take it nice and slow. There's some other minor crashes out there, so just be careful.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And thank you for joining us. We break news on clickorlando.com.
You can also find all of our stories on our News 6 Plus app for your TV.
Have a great Monday.